So today we're in a C43 Mercedes. It's a 2017. It's a baby though, it has like 8,000 kilometers. And we're going to talk a bit about what is a C43 versus a C63S, etc. How does it fit into the lineup and things like that. So I'm starting from the inside. As you can see, everything is well appointed. Nice brushed aluminum inserts, Burmeister sound system. You have the AMG flat bottom steering wheel. So you pretty much get everything you'd get in the 63. The main differences is going to be the performance. So on this car, you have a twin turbo V6 instead of the twin turbo V8 that's in the 63 and the 63S. So with that, you get 362 horsepower and 389 pound-foot of torque, I believe. I might be off by a couple pound-foot of torque. So it sits right in between the C300 and the C63. So this is like the middle child, if you will. So on the outside, you have all of the AMG cues, like the different front bumper, the spoiler, the quad exhaust with the AMG tips, the wheels, the brakes. You pretty much get a lot of the stuff that you would on the 63S, but just with less power. Upgrades in 2017 are the 9-speed automatic transmission, 9-speed automatic transmission. Say that 10 times fast. That gives you better acceleration and better fuel economy, of course. This replaced what was the C450 in the previous years. So exact same power specs, but switched from the 7-speed automatic to the 9-speed automatic. So here you have the full command system that you're familiar with in a lot of the newer Mercedes. Again, everything is double stitched, leather on the top, double stitched everywhere. Better look at the Burmeister there, the memory seats and everything. Real beautiful car. So in the 43, because it has the AMG designation, I don't know if you can see those little checker marks on the back of the gauge. And if you click through here, you'll see that you have sport mode, comfort mode, eco mode. These modes wouldn't be on the regular C300. So this particular vehicle is also customized. So it does have exhaust modification and also lowering springs, so it's a bit more aggressive. You can kind of hear the exhaust open up when you switch to Sport Plus. I don't know if you'll hear that on the camera. Maybe I'll go outside and do it. So there you can hear the exhaust opening, and there's the exhaust closing. It has a valved exhaust, so that's it, open again. Has a real nice sound. Check out the back seats. So you can see the back is as well appointed as the front. You got all that same Burmeister sound, brushed aluminum, all the stitching, AMG on the floor mats. Everything carries on to the back of the car. So I have my seat in the position that I'd normally sit in, and as you can see, my headroom is decent. I'm good on the headroom. My knees are in the back of the seat, but they put these bolsters in here, these little dips in here to kind of accommodate some extra room. So it's not horrible back here. I'm about 5'11", so you could survive back here. The seats are comfortable. Like I said, the headroom is good. Oh, and look at that. We have the dual sunroofs. So it's not a full panoramic, it's actually dual. So that's a nice touch as well. Okay, so I'm just in here for a bit. Just gonna go around a little bit here. So we have different settings that I'll show you after here, where you have like for your springs and your exhaust or whatever. So right now I'll just go in comfort mode. Shift is all the way up here if you're familiar with Benz's. And we'll just take a little drive up. So again, this is a modified car, so the suspension is going to be a little bit tighter than stock would be because it has the H&R lowering springs. I'm used to driving performance cars. I drive an SRT. The Maserati, when you put it in sports mode, is pretty tight as well. So for me, this feels like any other sport-tuned German car. So I'm in a parking lot right now, so it's kind of bumpy. I'll just go out onto the street and go for a short blast up the road. There's the Alcantara on the steering wheel. We have paddle shifters. So inside is really nice. All right, let's go up here. So I'm just in comfort mode right now, but very responsive. I can feel the gears going through very quickly. Again, the ride is pretty rough, but that's probably also due to the H&R springs. But again, we're in comfort right now, so I'll cruise up this way in comfort and kind of feel how it is. Car seems kind of quiet. I don't really hear the exhaust or anything as we're going along. And then what I'll do is I'll turn around and come back down and put it into sport mode so we can see the difference. So let me take a right here. Oh, this has this start stop thing. These new cars, I hate that feature. There's a button down here somewhere. Here it is. Where you can turn it off, because I don't like my car cutting off on me. So even in comfort, it has a little bit of a punch, but you can tell it's holding back. So we will spin around and I'll switch it into Sport Plus. So I'll just do the two extremes. There's an eco mode as well, but I can imagine that'll be very sluggish because it'll try to switch the gears right away to save on fuel. Someone in that S5, I guess he sees the C43 and wanted some smoke, but it's not my car, so I won't be doing that today. If it was my SRT, he could get it. But yeah, the interior is very quiet. You don't really hear anything from outside. Right now I'm at a standstill and it feels like the car is off. It's so quiet. I haven't driven any car in a long time that's this quiet. It's like it's a hybrid or something. So comfort mode is definitely good for just driving around the neighborhood, being quiet. Now let me do a little U-turn here. Make sure nobody takes me out. Alright, now we're gonna switch it into Sport Plus. Right away, I don't know if you're gonna hear how louder it got and how much the car just wanted to jump. Now the car is like completely transformed. It's holding the gear up until 5,000-6,000 RPM, and that was just with the flip of a little button. You can hear the crackles on the exhaust in the back. I'm gonna wind on the window a bit. Hopefully it's not too windy. Just so you can see. So the car is very, that's just me feathering the pedal. You can see it's like jumping forward. So it completely transforms the car when you put it into Sport Plus. It's a loud ass Camaro. So yeah, my first impressions, having never driven a newer C-Class before, is I like how quiet and calm it is. Inside is very nice. The steering wheel feels great. But having this Sport Plus mode where you can completely switch the car, it's like having two cars. This car also does have all-wheel drive, so you can drive it in the winter time. Let's see here. Make this bus get out of my way. safer than even it was in the parking lot. So that button, these buttons here, these driving modes definitely change a lot. Shouldn't even have come out in this car, because now I'm gonna want one. See, it's kind of jerky. Let's put it back into comfort. And then now if you listen, car's not jerking around. I can step on the gas, it's not jerky. Still a bit bumpy again because it has those springs on it, but the car is completely transformed from when it's in Sport Plus mode. So I'd say bang for the buck, being able to have a sports car and a luxury car and something that's good for the winter because it's all-wheel drive. I think these are a real steal, especially if you can get a good deal on them, like around 50k Canadian or so for a slightly used one. I don't think you can really beat it, to be honest. I'm just gonna pull up here and then talk a bit about some of the features inside here. All right, so as you can see here, we have a full 360 camera. So that's actually the parking lines here. So it's giving you that bird's eye view as well to aid in reversing. So it has like the little lines to show you to line up the spot. Right now I'm not looking behind me at all, I'm just looking at the camera. And if you notice the top view, so see, it's showing us what's behind us, but it's also able to give us a top view of it too, so you can see everything that's around you. It's a real crisp display. So I'm not completely straight in there, but I'm just gonna go back here and see. It's to help with your wheels because they'll show you the angle of your front tires, if your front tire is gonna touch, how close your back is to the curb. So it's really cool. So I'll stop right about there, even though I'm not straight. And then this is what I was talking about, the weird stock that Benzes have that some of you might be familiar with. That's how you put it into drive and park. I think there's a button on the end, you just press for park. Yep, put it in park just like that. Overall, I think if you want something that's a bit more fun than the boring C300, but you don't want to be burning rubber everywhere you go and making obnoxious noise, burning up gas and drifting everywhere, this is a nice middle ground vehicle that has more than enough power for the size of the car, has a good sound, and I was on this one with a couple of mods, you can really get something that sounds good, accelerates good, and has a good presence on the road. I just went 5 minutes up the road and people were looking at me at every stop and everywhere I was turning around. So it definitely is a head turner. Okay, so if you look here, this is what I was talking about. So this is your dynamic button. So this is what controls all of your driving modes. So see right now it's in sport, and then you also get it up on here. Sport Plus, you hear it open up. And again on here you can choose the suspension. So the suspension, I can have it on Sport Plus, Comfort. So again, that was probably my fault while I was choppy because I still left the suspension in sport and I didn't put a suspension into comfort as well. But there's a lot of stuff you can mess around with on this car. Individual will allow you to choose how you want everything. You could have this exhaust sport, the suspension comfort, the steering in another mode. And then you have all your traditional stuff, volume. Here, that quiets the car down right away. I don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, overall, it's a really beautiful car, and I'm kind of want one now, just from spending 15 or 20 minutes with it. I can only imagine what the 63S is like. So yeah, I never thought the 43 would be enough power. I always looked at it as like a quote-unquote fake AMG because it's not like the hand-built motor or whatever, but for what it is, it's really a nice car. It's definitely fast enough, unless you're trying to go racing on the track somewhere. The car is more than fast enough. It's comfortable. You get all of the same creature comfort, so you don't miss out on anything interior wise from the 63S. You still have Alcantara on the steering wheel. You have the same navigation system and command system, same options for the sound system with the Burmeister, stitch seating, the whole nine. So I mean, it's a good trade-off. It's a good medium, and you're saving probably, at least brand new, I believe you save about $25,000 to $30,000 between the 63S and the 43. I'll double check the numbers when I get home, but to me, it's more than worth it. I'll drive one. I mean, I definitely want the 63S because I'm a savage, but economical wise, or what's the word? Practicability, that's the word. If I was being practical, C43 is where you want to be, because you have the all-wheel drive that you can use during the winter time, and it really becomes a nice daily driver that if you want to speed and do some stuff in it, you have enough power to do so. But if you're driving around in winter and need to be safe and comfortable, you're able to do it as well. So just gonna do a quick video on this one. My guy has to be somewhere that was gracious enough to lend me the car to review it, so I'll definitely come back and get a more in-depth on it. Thanks for watching, and I'll have some of the stats and stuff on the car in the video pop up somewhere here or here, wherever. I'll put up all the full stats on the car that you can see.